Lesson 6-5, models for dividing by two-digit whole numbers. So today we're going to kind of look at how an area model can help us figure out how to divide as well. And then we're going to look more into long division as we get into tomorrow's lesson. So Stan has a rectangular piece of carpet that has an area of 23 and 4/10 square meters. The length is 13 meters, but he needs to find the width. What is the quotient? So we're going to kind of use this picture as a basis for what we're looking at. So again, we have this whole thing is going to equal the 23 and 4/10. You can kind of see they have it broken up in here, but all of these equal pieces, that's what it equals over here. And then you have 10 and 3 here, which is going to be your 10 and your 3 there, to where you look at what you're multiplying by. So now we have to figure out what these numbers are. So now I need to think about what times 10 gives me 10. Oh, okay, that's 1. So if it's 1 over here, because they have to be the same, like 10 is the same all the way down, 3 is the same all the way down, that means if I'm going to put 1 here, then it needs to follow through all the way across. So does 1 times 3 give me 3? Yes, so this is 1. So then I can look at this. What times 10 gives me 8? Oh, that's kind of weird. And what times 3 gives me 2 and 4/10? So now I'm looking at, it's got to be a decimal because I'm looking at a smaller number here. Well, we know when we're multiplying by 10, we're moving place value. So if I want this to be 8, I'm going to try a couple of things. I know this has to be an 8 because we're multiplying it by a 1. Can it be 8 wholes? No, because that would make 8 times 10, 80. Can it be 8/10? Well, if I'm timesing it by 10 and I'm moving it one place value, the place value would move it over to be 8 wholes. So this might be correct, but we have to practice it over here. So let's say 8/10. Well, if I ignore the decimal, 8 times 3 is 24. So therefore, 8/10 times 3, that would be 1 times 3 would give me 3. So our decimal would go in the middle if we're estimating. So 8/10 would be our answer here. So now we can add these together and we end up with 1 and 8/10 as our answer for this question. Okay, so let's kind of look at it this way as well. Again, we have 10 all the way down and we have 7 all the way down and we have what they should equal already. So if we have what they equal, that's going to go in this box here. So we're going to add those together. 40 plus 28 would give me 68. So I added those. I'm going to add my 6, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and 7. That's 74. And then I'm going to add my 4.2. But remember, we have to put our decimals and line them up when we're adding. So that gives me 78 and 2/10 is my answer because that's all the circled pieces. So now I need to figure out what I'm dividing it by. So what times 10 is going to give me 40, and the same number times 7 gives me 28. Well, that's going to be 4. So now I'm looking at what times 10 gives me 6, and what times 7 will give me 42 without the decimal. Well, I know that 6 times 7 gives me 42. And then I need to put my decimal in there to give me my decimal here. And then if I look at that again, that's 1 times 7 would be 7. So that's how we got 4.2 right in the middle. So again, I'm moving it one place value. So I know it has to be a 6, but it can't be 6 wholes because that's where I need it to be. So it needs to be 6/10. That way I can make it one place value larger later, which tells me this is 6/10. So my answer is 4 and 6/10. And that's how we find those answers. We're going to look at question number 9. It says, Javier bought a new TV for $479.76. He will make equal payments for each month for 2 years, which is the best way for Javier to estimate each payment. So it says round 479 to 470 and 24 to 30. They got this 24 because each month for 2 years. So 1 year has 12 months, so 2 years has 24 months. So we're looking at 470 divided by 30, we're looking at 480 divided by 30, or we're looking at compatible numbers, 480 and 24, or 425. Well, remember, we're going to want to do the least amount of movement, and we are still estimating, so we want it to be as close as possible. So in this one, they're changing both numbers. They're changing the price and the months. In this one, they're changing both the price, or they're changing just the price but not the months. In this one, they're doing both. Well, estimation also kind of needs to be done in our head to make it easy, and compatible numbers are always easier. And since this one's only changing one number, we're going to choose C as the best way to estimate.